Okay, friends, you're live here with Kilkissi on day 3 that has been canceled of the Fur Rondy World Championship sled dog race, and you're right here in downtown on 4th where we're getting ready for the award ceremony. So here's the pre-ceremony where Buddy, Hans, and Erik LaForce get to test out their podiums before we get the official awards done here. Here are the official awards. Mel, our announcer, is getting all the mushers in order of how they finished in the chairs over here. Here's the champion trophy. And so we're just getting ready. Go ahead and share the feed. Let us know where you're from, who you're cheering for. Again, day 3 was canceled to protect the dog's paws. So we're going with the award ceremony right now. And there's an official statement.
Was canceled for today.
There we go.
For the safety of our mushers and the safety of our dogs in particular. Tremendous amount of ice built up. The MOA crews, the other crews that came out, including the Alaskan Sled Dog Racing Association folks. Not only are they dealing with ice, they're also dealing with water and tunnels, water all over the place, as you're probably aware, because the temperature came up the way it did. We are asking our mushers to come in and grab their spots and be reading off who they are. My trusty deputy over here is going to interview each one of them as we go down the line, tell you how they did in the race, and he will be doing a live stream of that at the same time. So if you can't see from back there, just tune in live, right? We can do the whole live stream thing. But he's going to talk to each one of our mushers as we get to them. We're going to be facing south, going to the south sort of thing as we get started. And get our Rondy royalty together as soon as we have everybody running up here from the snow sculptures, and this is where they currently are. We have completed 2 days of the race, and we'll be presenting the checks that the mushers have won from that, and the awards for 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place that will be presented right here on the award stand. And we have the most important guy in the number 1 slot standing on the stand. That's the way it works. And we know who counts. So once again, sorry the race is canceled for today. It is for the safety of the mushers, safety of our dogs. And we appreciate everybody coming out for our ceremonial start and ceremonial presentation here at 1 o'clock.
Look at that. Our podium is ready. We have our royalties. Some of our royalties showed up. And then we have our crowd gathering here, folks. So we're just a few seconds away from officially starting the awards. You're downtown Anchorage on 4th Ave. We got the bear here, folks. Look at that. There's Mel, our announcer of 50 years.
So it'll be a couple minutes. Our Rondy royalty is moving up the hill as rapidly as they can. They were presenting at the snow sculptures. A busy time for Rondy royalty. Any of us that have served as, like I did as Lord Trapper, know how many places.
Here's Jeremy, our vice president for the club. How you doing, Jeremy?
Thank you for everybody coming
Excellent.
down to, see this presentation today, and we appreciate the support we've gotten. You're in the Anchorage mushing district, in case you didn't know that, and in just a few years, that sign may well be replaced by a giant arch depicting the musher and his dog team going over the avenue. The mushing district stretches quite a distance this way. We played 2 or 3 years ago. If you look down in the street along the sidewalks, you'll see the various mushing paws of the people who have provided sponsorship to help bring the mushing district to reality. So during the summertime, when tourists are up here and visiting, they'll get a chance to see interpretive signs and information about sled dog racing. This is not only about the folks who run at the most elite level, like our crew here today, but it's about mushing and dogs in Alaska. So as you know, we have a junior world championship. A lot of kids run dogs. It's possible for you to come and race with us at the Alaskan Sled Dog Racing Association. We have dog mushing teams as small as 3 dogs and as large as the crews you see here.
Just getting ready for the awards, folks.
More than an opportunity for you to come on out, visit us here at Alaska Sled Dog. At Latitude every Thursday night, we'd be happy to see you and introduce you to the exciting sport of sled dog racing, which includes ski jumping, by the way. You also have that opportunity too. So lots of things to do with dogs, and we want to make sure everybody can do that. All right, I see our queen and princesses are arriving, so we'll be putting them back over that way. They'll be coming out to present the trophies to our top 3.
Here we go. This is our Fur Rondy royalty, folks. They come out and help give out the coveted awards. And Lord Trapper's here. So you got a special.
Well, I'd like to take a round of applause for Rondy Wilding this year, the whole crew's here, the Lord Trapper, Lady Trapper, Queens and Princesses. And we're now ready to get going with presentations of our cash, which is the good part, right guys, and some hardware for the World Championship Sled Dog Race 2022 here in the Anchorage Mushing District. This race presented by the Alaskan Sled Dog Racing Association, Greater Anchorage Incorporated. We want to let you know everybody that works on this race is a volunteer, and there's over 100 people that put this race on each and every day. A lot of them out there in the cold, on the far distant checkpoints, seeing to it everything goes well for our mushers. Janet Clark, where are you? There she is. And this woman is our race marshal, Janet Clark. A round of applause. She's had a really busy and hard couple of 3 days. But I wanted to make sure you knew who she was, because she deserves a lot of credit for putting these things on. Those of us that have been involved with the decisions, such as cancellation, know how tough it is. We know how heartfelt it is to make that decision. We also know how important it is for the welfare of the dogs and the welfare of the mushers. Anything else to add to that, Janet? You got it, all right. Then in that case, let's thank the sponsors who have helped provide the funding for this race, $65,000 purse this time. That includes Tudor Road Bingo, Alaska Hydro-Axe, the Rasmussen Foundation, North Slope Telecom, the Alaska Dog Center, and Kale Casey Live. Kale, where are you? Kale's up there. He's doing it right now, as a matter of fact. Alpha Media, CBS Sports KHAR, Pet Emergency Treatment, Linden, Alaska Advanced Dentistry, Odom Coca-Cola Alaska, of course the Alaskan Sled Dog Racing Association, the over 200 volunteers that put this race on, the Greater Anchorage Incorporated, Anchorage for Rendezvous, and of course Municipality of Anchorage, which does all the work spreading all this snow each and every year. So round of applause for our sponsors. And Cam, you probably ready to run down there and start talking to some of these guys? Going to introduce each one of the mushers who has finished the race, completed the race, and Janet has the checks for me in the order I trust that they are supposed to be in. And we're going to tell you how everybody finished up, all right?
Okay, let's start with Marvin Cochran from Fairbanks. Marvin's the 28th year running the Fur Rondy. Marvin, how about a couple words for home?
Hey, I just want to thank the club here for a race here this weekend. I didn't know if they were going to hold it because I raced down here earlier this winter a couple times, and every last two races it rained like a son of a gun right before the race, and then it snowed. So I thought, well, I ain't gonna worry about it this time. It'll probably snow right before the Rondy, but it didn't. It rained, and we had a kind of icy trail. But the club did a good job putting the race on, and I thank the ASDRA club for a wonderful race, and I thank the people of Anchorage and community Anchorage for putting on a wonderful show right down the center of Anchorage, Alaska. You could drive around town here, and I'd tell whoever's riding with me, hey, that's where we cross right there or underneath one of the big streets, underneath Gamble, and you know it's just you're going right through the middle of town, and it's wonderful to see all the people out there on the trail and all the people that come out to watch a dog race, and you know I want to thank my sponsors, Teamsters Local 959. Otna Corporation, and Mountain Movers of Alaska Church, Pastor Craig Nicolai up in Fairbanks. Thank you. Bye.
All right,
Great, thanks, Mark.
He's going to get $1,200 his time for the 2 days competition. 2:16:53 means in 15th place. Coming up in 14th place, that's Carl Ray Erhart with a time of 2:09:28. Number 14, Carl Ray Erhart.
All right, come on up, Carl. And how about a couple words for home, Carl?
Hey, thanks everyone. Thanks Anchorage. Thanks Asdra, and all the volunteers who put on this great race. It was a dream of mine to come down here and run my dogs across through the road and through all those culverts. And a lot of people made that dream come true this weekend, and I appreciate all of you. And especially, before I get started thanking my sponsors, I want to start with this, that the real champions of dog mushing are the volunteers, because nothing would happen without those volunteers. So we really do appreciate you. Just want you to know that when you go home tonight, all of us think about you. All of us appreciate what you did for us. Thank you. And so I got to thank my family, my wife, Jennifer. I wouldn't be here without her. My handlers, Shaylin, Dion, Zoe, Brianna, Emily, Dale and Nellie Probert, Craig and Pamela Priest, all of my brothers. And then the dogs this weekend I got from Buddy and Lena and Alva and Clara, and they helped me with their handlers and really appreciate them. My brother John, Francis Captain, and Francis Roberts. This has been such an amazing experience. I brought my brother Chucky's ashes with me. We lost him this winter to a house fire. When Marvin won, Chucky was second, and George was right behind him. So it meant a lot to be here. Appreciate all of you. We'll be back. The Erhart name is strong, and we're still right here. We're not going nowhere.
All right, $1,500 to Colorado Erhart. Coming up next, number 13, Dave Turner with a time of 2:08:03.
All right, Dave Turner from Racing Chaos. A few words from Dave.
Hey, first I'd like to thank Janet and the Alaska Sled Dog and Racing Association and all your volunteers. It takes a huge effort to put on a big race like this in the middle of the city, going through all the parks, blocking off all the trails. You did an amazing job with the trail and organizing everything. I'm so fortunate to be able to be a part of this and treated like, you know, I'm as good as Buddy Streeper, even though I'm at the other end of the pack. I want to thank my team back at home, Laura, Willow, Jeremy, and Aaliyah. Thanks for holding down the fort and keeping all the tours going. I want to thank all my competitors for all the work you do all year round to show up with amazing dog teams and amazing competition. I really appreciate how everybody treats me with super professionalism and respect, even though, like I said, I'm at the other end of the pack from Buddy. And congratulations to Buddy and Hans and Erick. Amazing job this weekend. I wish we all would have got a third day, but you know, the trail conditions out of all of our control. Just want to protect their feet and keep everybody healthy and sound. Thank you very much.
And he could receive $1,800 for that effort. Number 12 in the race, Michael Tetzner with a time of 2:02:30.
All right, Michael Tetzner, who came here 2 months before the race to start training from Germany. 2 full months. He does that just about every year. Michael Tetzner.
Okay, first of all, I would say thanks to everybody. And I would follow the words from Marvin if I understand well. So I think he says thanks in his language. So, I had a team this year which looks like under the top 3. So I'm a little bit sad about the condition, and so I hope we can do it better next year for sure. Congratulations to Hans, Erick, and Buddy for the great show, and to everybody who worked so hard on the trail, from all the mushers and all the competitors to do it so well, and take care of your dogs, and hope to see everybody healthy next year.
Michael Tetzner, $2,100 for his efforts in the race. Number 11 is Brent Beck at $199.16.
All righty, Brent Beck, how about a few words?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the community of Anchorage, and I'm sure there's income surrounding areas. It's a whole state. I'd like to thank the whole state of Alaska to help us do what we continue this culture event, and that's very important in this lifetime, is keeping your traditions alive. And you guys are helping us do what we love to do, and that's run our sled dogs, and I thank you for that. I'd like to thank all the organizers, Asdra. I know it's a tough decision to cancel this day, but it's for the best efforts of the dogs. And dogs come first for all of us, and we'd like to thank you for doing that. Also to the radio coverage, Eddie Streeper and Kale, doing awesome radio coverage. It was a great job. It's good to see that radio coverage coming back. Before there used to be choppers flying ahead and on TV, and I hope to see that again. I'd like to thank my dogs. We came probably about 2,500 miles to get here just to support this race and to see my friends in Alaska again. And so they came, we did 335 milers last week, and to race here in the weather like this, I'm very proud of them. I'd like to thank Lisa for putting up with me all since we left home in January. And I'd like to thank my dad. He's been in a terrible accident, but I got 2 of his dogs, so it made me proud. He raced here, last raced here in 1980s, and now my Uncle Grant is also started. He's a rookie this year, and I hope to see my dad back here and the rest of my family, all my dog mushing friends in Canada. If you don't come to Anchorage, you're not going to race with the best in the world, and this is a world-class event, and I appreciate that. I'd like to congratulate Buddy Streeper and Erik LaForce and Hans Gatt and all the other competitors. It's a great race, and it's good to see my friends again. Keeps us all together, keeps us all one and united, and I thank you very much.
And 24 is a prize for that racing finish. And we don't have helicopters anymore. We've got Kale now. We can see this thing all around the world on live stream, right, folks? Let's hear it for Kale on the live stream. Andria Bond is next. She's number 10, 197.11.
Okay, Andria's here, and just a reminder, no stranger to the race. She's a rookie this year, but her partner, Gary Markley, has raced several times. So, Andria, how'd it go for you?
It went pretty good. I was kind of dreaming of a top 10 finish, so we just squeaked it in there, and we're really happy with that. Yeah.
And who would you like to thank?
I want to start by thanking all our friends and neighbors who showed us so much support this week. They're calling and messaging and like, hey, you know this stuff, but run your dogs, watch your dogs, giving us advice. And I want to thank, we don't have kennel sponsors, but I want to thank the race sponsors. The amount of money and work that goes into blocking these streets off, getting the snow on the avenue, blocking the road crossings. It's just so much effort, and we all appreciate it so much. And Janet, you're just awesome. You've been a great race marshal, and this has been so fun to work with you on this race. And all the volunteers, everyone shoveling snow out there, helping teams up the hill, just cheering us on the way. People are out all night working on the trails and getting this ready so it can be the best that it can be for us to race on. And we appreciate it so much. I can't say it enough times. It means a lot.
All right, congratulations, Andria.
$2,700 goes to Andria Bond for her efforts. And we're up to number 9. That would be Grant Beck with a time of 197.01. Grant Beck up next.
All right, Grant, come on forward here. 50-year mushing veteran, first-year rookie here at the Rondy.
Yeah, my rookie year, I can tell you, I sure enjoyed it. I spent a lot of time thinking about this race over the years, wanting to be here. I was talking to Roxy yesterday, and she said, she spent some time thinking about racing Yellowknife. And I said, talking to Roxy back then, I said, well, I'm thinking about running Anchorage, the Fur Rondy too. So we've accomplished that, and it was a great race, great weekend. So we're happy with that. And I also like to thank my team, my dogs. They were happy every day. They did a great job. My son Danny, we drove over here in 3 days to get here, and he looked after everything, the truck, and Yumi, my partner, looked after the dogs. But we were a great team coming here, and we had a great team to put on the street, and we had fun. It was great. I also like to thank the organization. You guys do a wonderful job. You did. The whole weekend was super fun for us. I'd like to thank Janet. Perfect job. I really appreciate the weekend, and looking forward, I think, like Brent said, we love this race, and I think we're all been exposed to it now, so you can be sure that you will see us here again in the future. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
All right. $3,000 prize for his finish. And yesterday they were running Brent, Beck, and Rick were 12 and 13 back to back, so I could say they were running Beck to Beck. Frank Habermann coming in number 8 at 196.46. Frank Habermann.
All right, Frank Habermann, originally from Germany, living in Clam, Gulch, Alaska, doing a lot with a little. Frank, how was your weekend?
It was a very good race for me, and probably much more enjoyable than the first one I did. My rookie year, I was on my own and had a few local helpers, but this time I had a hell lot of support. Every pair of dogs had a handler, and it was amazing to get my 14 dogs to the line on time and without fights and without chewing any necklines. The dogs were happy, and I'm really proud of them. I hope I can get the same team out next year, maybe with 1 or 2 additions. And
all right, $3,300 in prize money for Frank Habermann.
Congratulations, Frank. And a reminder, all the videos of the race are on YouTube. They're also on the Fur Rondy Facebook page. You can go watch what he's talking about. All the handlers helping at 4th Ave. You can see all that up close and personal.
So coming up next, position number 7 this day goes to Don Cousins with a time of 194.31. Don Cousins.
All right, Don Cousins, your 20th running. Tell us a few words and who you want to thank.
Oh, first off, I'd like to thank Lewis Doherty from just south of London, England. He's been with me all winter. This is a totally new experience to him. I said, I really can't tell you a lot about it. You're just going to have to experience it. And he's done a heck of a big job helping me out. I'd also like to congratulate Hans, Erick, and Buddy. There's a lot of really good Canadian mushers, and I think that proves the point here this weekend. There's 3 Canadians in the top third. I think that's the first time. Back when I first started mushing and stuff like that, it was pretty rare to even have a Canadian up here taking on all the top teams that are up here. I'd like to thank Janet Clark. She's the best race marshal I've seen, bar none. Awesome job, Janet. Awesome job to the club. Thank you kindly. We'll be back again next year.
All right, $3,600 the prize money for Don Cousins in 7th place. 6th place, Wendy Callis, 193.12. Wendy Callis.
All right, Wendy coming down from Fairbanks with her daughter to the great race. Wendy, tell us a few words and who you want to thank.
First of all, it's by the grace of God that we're here. It's a lot of praying going around that trail. And I want to thank Andria. What a wonderful race you guys put on. All the volunteers, the city of Anchorage. It's nothing like it running down these streets. And also thank my family for holding down the fort at home. And congratulate everybody that made it to the starting line first day even. I mean, you get around there at all. That's an amazing feat. So and I thank Mountain Movers of Alaska Church for sponsorship, and thank Marvin for all his support and help over the last couple of years.
All right, $3,900 for Alix Crittenden. Number 5.
For Wendy Callis.
Wendy Callis, rather. Alix Crittenden is up next in 5th place at 191.35.
Yeah. All right, and Alix's video is on the Fur Rondy page, running up the Cordova Hill with her team yesterday. It was pretty exciting, so if you want to see that, folks, tune on in. Alex?
Yes, I'd like to thank the race organizers, especially Janet, and I'd also like to mention the vet crew. You guys are amazing. You're kind of invisible until we need you, and then boom, there you are. So we really appreciate that and the great dog care that goes on in this race. I want to thank my kennel owner and super sponsor, Frank Teasley, and the whole crew back home, keeping the tours going and helping us be up here running these amazing dog races in Alaska. My husband, Sam, who's holding down the house and making sure it doesn't disappear while I'm gone. My family in North Carolina and my sister in Pennsylvania for watching. My whole extended family in Bondurant for all that they do. I also really want to thank the Streeper family, in particular Terry Streeper. He messages me every morning before every heat of every race I'm in, every season, and it just really means a lot to me that he does that. So thanks, Terry and Deb, Buddy and Lena and the girls. I appreciate you guys so much. And the rest of the competitors too, like everyone else has said, it's so cool to race surrounded by legends and professionals and people who are just good in general. It makes it so much fun, and I can't wait to come back. And I think I've forgotten someone important. But, oh yes, definitely someone important. My handler, Jess Moore, she's out down guarding the truck right now, so she couldn't even be here, but hopefully she's watching live. This is our second year together on 4th Avenue, and she's amazing. I don't know how I'll ever do it without her if she ever leaves, so I'm not going to let her leave. So thanks, Jess, and thank you guys again for everything amazing this weekend.
Congratulations.
All right, $4,500 prize for Alix Crittenden in 5th place. In 4th place, Tony Blanford, 186.40.
All right, and Tony did have a particularly amazing run yesterday. He was the second fastest time, so today would have been very exciting for Tony.
Yeah, I was aiming to beat Buddy yesterday. Almost. So it seems like every time I do this race, I have to learn something the hard way. So the first time I wiped out on Ambassador's Corner pretty badly. And this time, during the first heat, I learned not to plant the stow hook with a speeding dog team. So I kind of got stuck out in the back, and I was exhausting myself trying to get the hook out of the snow. And finally I said, you know, heck with this, and I grabbed the rope with both hands, and I yanked out the stow hook, and the next thing I know, I'm body surfing on it. So I was going along, there's no one out to help. I wondered if I should wait, but I decided to climb the rope and get back on the sled, and everything turned out well, and I even shaved a few inches off my waist. Want to thank Buddy for all his support, Lena, and I sure want to thank all the people that I don't get to meet directly, because that trail was a heck of a trail for the conditions. It really was, and I want to thank all the volunteers and handlers. You do make dreams come true, and this was one of mine. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And he's going to receive $5,400 for that effort. We're coming down to position before Tony Blanford. And from there, I have this to stop for just a moment. Susan, the Susan Wagner Award, I believe, is next. And I believe that is your duty. Is that correct? Gail's coming with you.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing your race marshal, Janet Clark, with a very special award. And again, we are live streaming on the For Rondy Facebook page.
I'm standing here before you with Nicole. Sorry, see, you lost it. You can come up too, Nick. With Nicole and Steve Cole. Steve is the husband of Susan Wagner, and Nick is their son who's grown up. We're here because Susan isn't here, and we like to dedicate an award in her name. Susan had one of the things that the rest of our friends that we don't have here, like Dixie Waddell, had, and that is every single time on the avenue, there's just sheer joy of being here. She loved this race. Dixie Waddell loved this race too. She came with a smile that was a 1,000,000-watt smile to the race, and time up and up. Well, she didn't get the luxury of the 3rd floor. She had the time tower. She was here in such glory during her time with the rendezvous. And Jeff Barnhart, who also lost us last year, came here so happy to be amongst these top competitors and getting all the gossip and doing all the things that he loves so much. But this race was especially important to Susan and us. I have raced the rendezvous and I've marshaled the rendezvous, and I have never done it without Susan until this year. She's been with me for every single year. So we talked as a club, and we have an award that we're calling Susan's Hope. And Susan's Hope is an award that goes to a driver who, through their care and exemplary, intentional care of their dogs, competed at the highest level possible. And that's important. It was important to Susan. She was a sports dog. She was a sports dog vet. She loved the working dog. And she wanted to do everything she could to support the drivers in this race to make sure that they put the best dogs forward in their best condition. She established a culture of a trusting relationship between veterinarians and drivers. And we were so lucky this year because Jamie Merrigan stepped into that role, and she started immediately. And these drivers and she immediately began to just pick up that same kind of culture, and back and forth with questions, and can you help me with this, and can you mark this down? And that was Susan too. She wanted to help, and she wanted to mark and start to do the kind of research that would allow us to do our best at putting our dogs in their best place forward. So this Susan's Hope Award is in response to the fact that she said in their last 2 years of life, and Steve, correct me if I'm wrong here, but in her last 2 years of life, she became really dedicated to finding gratitude in so many different ways with her family and with her friends, with her co-workers, and all of this. And the gratitude about being able to be on this avenue is a theme for this year. On the first day, we talked about being grateful to be in person running down the street. We talked in the driver's meeting on that. And the second day, we talked about showing gratitude to all the mushers, all the volunteers along the way. We were so grateful for that. And now what we get to do is to express gratitude for a person who's gone above and beyond in terms of putting out a team that shows the care that Susan would have been very, very admiring of. Jamie Merrigan of Raymond Veterinary Clinic was a race vet this year, and she's also a co-sponsor of this award. It's a significant award. It's a plaque, and it's a $1,000 check. And it goes this year to Alix Crittenden.
Wow! Yeah, congratulations, Alix.
I'm not sure what to say. I definitely wasn't expecting that, and I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me because my dogs mean a lot to me, and it's the greatest compliment to have you guys say that. Take really good care of them. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Congratulations, Alix. Can you hold that up for us so we can show that? There you go.
So that's our presentation of the Susan's Hope Award. I think you can tell all of us who participate in dog mushing, whether it's juniors, in limited class, or open class, have a great love for the animals and for what we do with them and for the effort they put in for each and every one of us. So this is a very, very important award for us, each and every one of us who uses and work with her throughout the race seasons. I'm moving on now to the hard part, which is getting past this into the presentation of hardware and checks again. So just give us a second. I'm going to ask the Queens and Princesses to move out front so they can do the hardware presentation stuff.
Okay, we're just getting set up for the top 3 World Championship awards now, folks.
You've got the hardware. Oh, the dog's gone. Blayne, where'd the dog go? Is he out there? Okay. Make sure he shows up. All right, here we go. Third place for the World Championship Sled Dog Race 2022 here in the Anchorage Mushing District. That is going to be Hans Gatt with a time of 1:86:20. Hans?
All right, congratulations, Hans. How about a few words?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the organization, Janet, with your crew, everybody here at Anchorage who works for this race. It's amazing what the amount of work that goes into the preparation, just here in town and out on the race. It's really amazing. In my 35 years, I've raced all over the world, back in Europe, all over North America. And I can assure you there is no race quite like the for Rondy anywhere, which provides that kind of challenge for the dog teams. And it's called the World Championship for a reason. I want to thank my dog team. I'm so proud of these dogs. They go back to the old lines from the old North American for Rondy teams, like to Lester Erhart's breeding, Roxy Wright, George Atla, and I've believed in those dogs all these years, and some of the, like those 8 dogs in the team that have run the 2019 Yukon Quest, I've still run 250-mile races last year. And to be here in third place at Fair Rendezvous with that team shows how versatile those Alaskan Huskies are. And they're still the true Indian village dogs, and I want to keep these lines going as long as I can. So thank you to my dog team. We don't make any big future plans anymore, Susie, my partner, and me, so can't say whether we could be back next year, but it's very likely. Okay, thank you all, and congratulations to Buddy and Erick and all the other marshals for an awesome event, for an awesome race. Thanks a lot.
And $6,600 in check plus the hardware for third place for Hans Scott.
And then look
all right, moving on to second place. That's going to be Erik LaForce with a time of 1:85.59. A rookie in the race, and he is finishing in second place. Erik LaForce.
Congratulations, Erick. How about a few words for the live stream audience back home?
To say I'm a French, so I want to say to be on Dutch. So hello everyone. I'm a French Canadian, so I will need this not to forget me. I want to start by saying that I'm proud and thankful for the race decision to put back care of our body. I'm sure it was a tough decision, a tough call. Thank you on behalf of my dog. I would also want to thank my girlfriend, Jessie, for her work and support. Thank to my son, Brent, childhood, family, and friends for your moral support. I want to thank my sponsors, Grizzly Diet Dog Food, Response System, Laser Therapy, Wendy Outfitter, and Volcanics for training. I want to thank the volunteer too. Rondy was on my bucket list, and a dream to one day be here and race with the best musher. I know that musher and you understand the work and effort to be here and live that dream. I want to thank my dog from the bottom of my heart. They give their all and most of all. They give me their trust. Oh, shit. Congrats to all the team. Congratulations to us, Gatt. Buddy, congrats on your way. I will finish by saying that I'm proud to be part of the Rondy history. Behind the first kidmaker French Canadian to be on this podium with the second place. Thank you, everybody.
And Erick is going to take home $500. That's the rookie award. The big one is $7,800 for the second place finish and the Rookie of the Year award, right? Congratulations. And finally, he's back. Blayne Streeper, number 1 again this year. With a time of 1:78.10. His first day of racing, he ran this in about 86 minutes even. So 25 miles, 86 minutes, you know how fast he was traveling. Blayne Streeper, ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
Okay, Blayne, can you confirm that you're now the second most winning musher in Fur Rondy history, just having surpassed Doc Lumbar with 8 wins going into 9, 1 right before George Atla?
Yeah, I actually had 8 last year and Doc had 7, so I know very much the history of this race. This race has been my #1 goal and my lifelong passion for since I was smaller than my daughters Claire and Alba. When I was 2 or 3 years old, we would be sitting at home right now watching live, much like my family is at home, and we'd be watching the prize presentation. My father was racing up here, and my other family members were racing up here. So this has been a goal of mine to come here and be a part of this race, and like my fellow competitor said, it's about the dogs and having them trust you, and having them work for you, and having that relationship, and having them hours in the dark, and in the rain, and in the cold, and in the snow, and on birthdays, and on honeymoons, postponed. Other days, and many, many days. And many days that we've seen in this world in the last few years, many dark days. We talked about some friends that we've lost this year. Many great friends, Susan, Jeff, and Dixie, Chucky, and many other great friends of mine, Joe, George, Lester. But what I noticed out there is we have to take the time, like these instances that we have now, and then the times that we are with our dogs, or with our family, or last night at the carnival. I've seen the people happy. I've seen people smiling like I see people smiling today. So all the stuff that we have in our life, we've got to remember the times that we have fun. We've got to remember the times that we have love and look around at each other and really appreciate the things that we do. And this is the thing that I appreciate to do, and I appreciate Azra and GAI and the city of Anchorage and all my fellow competitors for being part of this. And I need to thank my family, Alva and Clara, my wife Lena, my mother and father, my mother-in-law, my family back home, my handlers, everybody that's helped our team, and my sponsors as well. But I love to come up to Anchorage, I love to be a part of it, and I really look forward to coming back here again next year. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it, and I look forward to coming back, and I'm proud to call myself the Anchorage World Champion. So thank you very much.
And Blayne Streeper, you're getting $10,200 for that effort.
Woo!
Janet's got the check. And he and the gold pin.
There it is.
That is our World Championship sled dog race for this year. On behalf of all of our volunteers, I think this is actually my 50th year, Janet. Yeah. Yeah, it's painful, isn't it? So, for all of us who have been able to come back and put this race on for you again after the break last year, we want to say thank you for coming down and being part of this. It was a tough run for us to make the decision today, but I think you all understand why we did so. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the World Championship Sled Dog Race in the Anchorage Marching District, produced to you by the Alaskan Sled Dog Racing Association in Greater Anchorage Incorporated. We will see you next year in 2023. And there's one more thing.
Volunteer on the Rondy Trail, so Mel's going to pull a name out. That person wins a $25 gift certificate to Caribou's Corner. Let's take off your glasses.
I tried to tell them that an hour ago.
Oh my gosh, Denver showed us there's a timer at 15 in Cordova.
All righty, that's tough duty, ladies and gentlemen. And all these guys know what 15 in Cordova looks like, so you know how much work it is. Once again, thank you all for coming down. Let's hear 3 hip hip for Ross for these guys. Get him.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
And we'll see you in 2023.
Ready?
All right. Great job, you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, we got one dog down here. It's great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you're seeing the very end of the award ceremony. And here's the award trophy, the official trophy. Whoopsie. All right, they're just getting set up for a couple photo ops.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. All right. So you can see folks starting to get all their socialization in. The Streeper family setting up for a family portrait here. And there's lots more of other Rondy events happening all week. So if you're in Anchorage, have a great time. If you're tuning in online, go ahead and keep posted to the Fur Rondy page. All right, no worries. There we go. There's Tony Blanford, who had the second fastest time yesterday. You can see it all coming together here. Mel, our announcer of 50 years.
Yeah, it feels like that.
50 years. Fantastic job. Bravo, bravo.
Yeah, thank you, Cale, for doing this thing. I think we put this together. And
Yeah, great job. It's an honor.
On the fly.
On the fly. Yeah, we did have a late cancellation this morning, folks, of the race due to the icy trail conditions. But everybody still came out in Anchorage to cheer on the winners.
One of the things we should remind everybody
Yep,
of.
let's go ahead and do this.
So everybody knows. I mean, one of the things we were mentioning about buddy Blayne Streeper, for example, he ran that race the first day in 86 minutes. And he went 25 miles in 86 minutes. It doesn't take much computing to figure out he's flying sometime at over 20 miles an hour. And when you consider how much faster these dogs go than what you're used to seeing when you see a distance team, for example, they're not going quite as speedy. The ice and the trail conditions are much more important for them. It's the difference between speed skaters and a person just moving down the trail.
Exactly. So Mel's giving us perspective on when you're looking at why can't we just put booties on all the dogs and keep the race going.
They will fly off.
Sheer
That's
speed.
exactly.
The booties will cut through the ice. The dogs will still take a hit on their paws, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
I think you heard today when you hear these mushers talking, the care of the dogs and the feeding of the dogs and taking care of the animals, I mean, it's very intensely personal to them. They want those dogs to be the best they can be. And I think that's one of the things we keep talking about is how intensely personal it is to work with our animals when we have them. And it's not just these guys. These guys are elite mushers. They're way beyond what most of us are capable of doing. A lot of us have ran junior races with 1 dog, 2 dog, and so forth for our kids, or a limited class where you have 3, 5, or 7 dogs yourself. So a lot of people down here have that experience. A lot of those volunteers we're talking about are people who run limited class races, right?
Yep.
So yeah, we care about our dogs. They mean a lot to us, and we would never do something that wouldn't be in their totally best interest. And Janet's decision today was a really hard one.
Hard decision to make, but there's a lot of sled dog season left. Some of these mushers are going 3 weekends in a row, back in Canada racing.
And it is something we're all going to have to think about as we talk about how climate change is affecting us, because I think you've seen stories coming out about what effect it's having on winter sports in general. And certainly we're looking forward to that. I mean, we just finished the Winter Olympics where all the snow was manufactured, right?
Right, exactly. The Chinese Winter Olympics was not normal snow, not naturally made snow, so things are changing.
Right.
I know Buddy on day 1 was going to run only to the speed of what his dog's going to handle for the heat.
Right.
So everybody's got to make adjustments. Hans Gatt's pulled off a really great run because his dogs are more traditional, which means they're going to run warmer.
Exactly.
But still, they perform beautifully.
Yep.
And so
it was a great 2 days of racing. We hope you all enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
It was fun to come down here and do this with you today. So we appreciate you all watching all over the world. Don't let them talk to you about helicopters. This goes further than the helicopter ever got anything. Right?
Exactly. And for those who haven't seen Mel's face in a while, he's been the announcer on Fourth for 50
years.
Yes. So that's the voice you hear in the background of the live stream, introducing and counting down the mushers.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to stick in there, they talked about the time tower we used to have, which actually is a shack. It is an old wooden shack that is still out there on Tozier track. You can see it. And trust me, it's a lot better to be on the 3rd floor of the building where we are currently. When they talked about that being a tower, that's kind of a stretch. All right? Okay, so you have a good day. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I'll keep giving folks a little bit of tour here.
You do that.
There's that.
I got that.
Appreciate it. Here's the scene, folks, as things wind down for the World Championship Sled Dog Race Award Ceremony. Hans Gatt, look at that, wearing bib number 3 so proudly. So cool to see. Hans, let's talk to Susie real quick. Susie, hopefully you've been watching the race. You're very proud of your husband. What do you got to say to Susie?
Hey Susie, too bad we didn't go today. I was going to shoot for second today. I had a pretty good 14 dog team lined up, but I think it was for the best anyway. Checked out of the hotel room already, so I'm going to be on my way to Tokyo pretty soon and cross the border tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Hans gets to get home and see Susie. Back to your beautiful property. I did want to make a correction. Yesterday I said that you were from Germany, you're from Austria. We have some folks out there who leave comments on our feed and say, he's such a strong German.
Oh, wow.
Tell us about your hometown and when you came to the United States or Canada.
Oh wow, my hometown. It's just near Innsbruck in Western Austria, in Tyrol. Came to Canada in '89, so it's been more than half of my life here.
It's been some time now, right? But you really did truly prove that your dogs, those traditional older Alaskan Husky lines, are so versatile, so impressive.
They're impressive dogs. I mean, there's no animal on the planet which can compare to them, and I'm so glad that I never got caught up into that rush and breeding hounds into those dogs, because a lot of people regret this these days, you know, and we never did. So they're still the real original Indian village dogs.
And they look beautiful. They have dark coats, happy smiles, beautiful brown fur. They really look great as a team with your your green, your yellow sled bag and harnesses. Yesterday coming up Cordova, they look great.
They were a little tired yesterday,
but they still kept it
they
together.
had one in the basket as well.
Yep.
So, but you know, that's part of racing.
And that's just the crux for them. Cruz Fortuna, I kept on talking. Once those Alaskan Huskies got just up that hill, they were off and motoring again.
They are, of course, accustomed to trotting a little more than some of those sprint dogs are, you know. And as soon as the pulling gets tough, a lot of them just fall into a trot. And that doesn't mean that they are slower. As soon as they go over the crest of the hill, they'll start dropping again.
They were moving. And on day 1, 18 dogs. Day 2, 17 dogs. What have you brought out today?
I had 14 lined up for today, and they look great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. It's so great. Whoop, don't drop your ball. Susie, your man's a champion again. Second place, Rondy. That's a big, or third place, Rondy. That's a big, big deal.
Okay, love you, right? Susie. See you tomorrow.
Okay, right on. Safe drive home, and I'll see you in the next race. Where am I going to see you next?
Maybe see you in Fairbanks.
Okay, great. That'd be great. There's Hans Gotts, everybody. Very, very good. Number 3 bib right there, looking great. Right under the old banner here. Lots of great social time happening as we wind it down. Thanks for staying tuned in here and staying engaged all 3 days. This really is just a legendary event, and we really appreciate you all participating. Look at that. We got cupcakes. Oh my gosh. Always something incredible at the Rondy. Look at that, folks. See, if you enter the race and make it to the finish line, you get to get yourself a nice cupcake there. Right on. I'm going to go ahead and try to grab Carl for 1 second. Okay, you're grabbing Carl?
Yeah. Still talking. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Carl. I'm going to grab you, brother, for your home run. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Okay, Carl Ray Erhart. There, let's show up your...
Look at that. It's official. It's for real.
He's done it. He's completed his rookie year. You've got a whole state that's proud of you. You obviously have, 6 families that participated in this? You listed all the names?
Yep, and then like I said, we're all a big family here, and just to have... I had Egil Ellis, messaging me, Roxy Wright on the street helping me work on my dogs and care for my dogs, Miranda Wright representing Gareth Wright, the emotions this weekend of all of that. I'm a winner. The people who, it's not just about the dog race, right? It's more than that.
It's about this community, and when you came around the 4th and Cordova day 1, I said, oh my God, Carl's doing great. When you looked great coming up yesterday on day 2, I thought, he's definitely going to rock day 3. What was your plan for today if you could run it?
We executed the game plan accordingly. Everything went right. Gareth Wright used to tell me all the time to prepare your dogs and do everything you can to help them at the race. And then that way, when you finish the race, you won't look back and say, I could have did this or I done this, and it doesn't matter where you finish because you did everything you can for those dogs. And that's what I did. I couldn't control the weather. I missed 22 days of critical training, but I had a team that could come here and finish, and I knew it. And I talked with Buddy, and he asked me straight up, what's my goal? I said to finish for Rondy. And so we ran that first day real conservative, to look at the team. I picked a solid group. That second day, we were making our move. I was having a really good run. And then I picked up one of my point dogs, before 15th of Cordova, and had to push her all the way up the hill and home. And then you know, today I think we would have had 9 strong dogs on the line, and we would have did our thing today and probably moved up. But I know my cousin Marvin, he didn't want the Red Lantern, and we would have been battling it out today.
Right on. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you, man. The whole wildland firefighter community in Alaska is proud of Carl. He's been defending Alaska for how many years now?
I've been at Fairbanks, Alaska for 10 years now, and I'm a permanent employee there for 7. So, yeah.
That's a lot of hours, put in a lot of time away from home, and it's paid off. You've now established yourself as a Rondy rookie. Now you got to be back every year, right?
Yep, every year got to be back and represent. It's supposed to be to work tomorrow, but I'm not going to make it, guys.
Right on. Proud of you.
Yep, thank you, Cal.
Yeah.
Appreciate you and all the coverage, brother.
You betcha. And here's a cookie coming your way. Look at this. Wow, really? Hold on, look at this. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Tell us about the cookies real quick.
I just know that.
Okay.
I didn't go out, so.
Wow. How rad.
Yeah, before they disappeared.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, appreciate it.
I just wanted to tell you, I ran into somebody yesterday who had a who had a non-stop dog wear harness on his dog. Had no idea about your whole setup out in Willow.
Up in Willow. Well,
no
come and
idea
visit us up there, folks.
That's what I told him.
We've got a cafe coming on.
Yes, you've got the house.
The Airbnb, the gear shop, and we're doing tours, overnight adventures, lessons, everything.
Exactly. So he's going to come out because his dog needs a new harness.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, so like you got to go see Kale.
Yeah, come see us in Willow, folks. We're there for you. I'm going to go ahead and sign it off there so I can give folks hugs here. Thank you, folks. We really appreciate you joining us, to all of our sponsors. And we'll go ahead and get ready for next year. It's going to be time to Rondy in about 364 days. See you soon. Yeah, one more clapper.
Hey, good to be here this year. My first time here at the Star and Shoot. I'm happy that the Streeper family invited me, and we had a good time. Too bad it's not the 3rd day, but you know, the health of the dogs and a lot of good musher, George Adela, you know, and all the Wright family, the Beatus family. George Adela was one of the famous, the Eddie Streeper. Terry Streeper, Buddy is here now today. It's a miracle, man.
And introduce yourself for everybody.
My name is Ernest D. Erick, and I'm from Vinitae, and I've done a quest back in '94.
Right on, and I was out in Vinitae, I think in 2012 we had the fire out there.
Yeah, that's where you were.
I was out there fighting that fire.
94 fire, yeah.
Picking berries.
Yeah, we were picking berries.
Right
Have a
on.
good day,
Okay, everybody,
guys.
we'll see you next time. Thank you.